Hello, you beautiful Life Path 8 person. Welcome to your 2023 Life Path reading with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. I just want to say a heartfelt thank you so much to all of you who supported my work throughout 2022. It really does mean a lot. And thank you so much to all of you who came and commented on these every month, every other month, just to let me know how it was going on, how it resonated with you, how accurate it was, all of those things. It really does mean a lot to me, and it was wonderful interacting with you in the comments on these readings. So with that said, before we start, as always, I would like to bless my cards and this reading with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So this year, how does 2023 interact with your own number, and what are the energies, trends and themes that you're likely to experience over the course of this year? So obviously take into account your personal year vibration, but this year, right? So this year for you resonates to the vibration of taking care of business. This is a year for you to roll up your sleeves, get stuck in and do the work. This is also a year for you to really find out what your purpose to serve humanity actually is. Now, what I mean by that is every single one of us is here for a reason, right? I genuinely believe that, and I believe that we all have a purpose. We're all here to deliver something to the collective, even if it's just at that grassroots level, right? We're here to do something that the world needs. And this year, it's about you, for you, it's about figuring out what that is. Where can you be of service to the world? Roll up your sleeves, get to work. It could also be that this year, the things that you maybe feel like you've neglected, especially things like your self-care. This is a year for you to really look after yourself, your physical body, your mind, your body and your spirit, to really get into the depths of looking after yourself, maintaining yourself, maintaining good practices, good thoughts, good habits, all of those kinds of things. This is a year for you to really dig into them and make the most out of that. Also, for this year, this is a year. This year is giving you the opportunity to take responsibility for yourself, for your life, and it's really asking you: are you up for the challenge? If you are, then this is the year for you to lean into it. This is where you really get to say, you know what, I'm going to make the most out of myself by looking after myself. This year, really look after your health. Pay attention to mind, body, spirit, family connections, and familial ties are going to be a big point of maybe not contention, but they are going to be more into the spotlight this year. And so there's two ways that this could happen for you. Maybe figure out where you give too much to family and where maybe you could show up more for them, right? And where is the balance point between those things? And also, don't be surprised if you're called upon for your help or your advice, or even your own brand of owl-like wisdom I've put here. So the reason I say that is because Life Path 8 people tend to be very wise. It's just not something that they overtly kind of share with the world, which is a shame. But anyway, what about the different sectors of your life when it comes to money and finances this year? Resources will definitely be on your mind a lot more this year. It might also be a time where you start to look at improving your material experience, but the money that you make, or the way that you're increasing making money this year, it will come through what you're offering. What are the services that you offer? What is your business idea? Where is it that you really feel ready to put something out that supports other people? Or where is it that you can be of more service within your job? Because when it's going to be in those sectors of your life, really, that you will find the you'll find the opportunities really to make more money. So when it comes to love this year, for love and relationships, dedication. If you're partnered, give them the best of who you are. Excuse me. Love hard, be present for your significant other. This is about really finding a way to be dedicated to the relationship, to ask, what is the service that I can offer to my significant other? Play a supportive role to your partner if you have one this year. For those of you that are single, it's not only a year for you to find a good partner, but it's also a year for you to find yourself. And that is where the secret lies, right? That's where the magic really happens. When you know who you are genuinely, you attract somebody that loves genuinely who you are. And this year, I really feel like it could happen for a lot of you. So in terms of warnings, planning and careful application of budgets should definitely be at the back of all things that you do this year when it comes to money. If you're not honest with yourself, you might find yourself overindulging in all kinds of senses. What's worth noting is this: giving of yourself is great. Overextending yourself is going to leave you open to being taken advantage of. And this year you can sidestep that, providing you know when to say enough. I've given enough, I've done enough, I've offered enough. Now, another thing that I will say here, it might be an idea for a lot of you to, it might be an idea to understand that a lot more people are going to call on you or ask you for your help or assistance. And then finally, when it comes to work, this year will require a lot of effort, which it's not something that you guys shy away from. You tend to be really good at this, like putting a lot of effort into something, especially when you believe in it. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't exert that, but it also does mean that you might need to work a little bit harder or find a way to work smarter this year. It's one thing that I have said to everybody this year: the same old same just isn't going to cut it. Anything that we've been really way too comfortable in, or we've become reliant upon or complacent with, it's going to be revealed to us. This is where you are lacking. This is where you think that something is one thing, but actually it needs more of this. And then finally, you might find yourself that anything in the service roles or whatever, if you're in the service world in any, or the service industries in any case, in any way, shape or form, you'll do very well this year. And then finally, if you have a business, start working on how it looks, the branding, the website, the logos, all of the way that it kind of presents in that first sort of instance. All of these things are going to be highlighted. So for your cards, you get one destiny card, one direction card per month. And your first card out kind of typifies what you're getting for the whole year. All right, so this kind of speaks to that energy of this is what you're getting for this year ahead. Now, that being said, before we start, on January the 12th, so Mars will be retrograde as we start the year. Mars will go direct on the 12th of January. Mercury will be retrograde in the sign of Capricorn at the start of the year, and it won't go direct until the 18th. So it's not until sort of way past the midpoint of the month that things really start to pick up, that energy is there. It will be a slower start to the year for everybody, so don't let that put you off. Your key, or should I say your first card out, is the Star card. Sorry, that was my knee that clicked. It's been doing that for a while. All right, so look at this, right? This is a year where your future, the places and spaces that your life is going to take you. This year you are going to understand where life is taking you, where the universe is really allowing you to catch a glimpse or to get a deeper understanding of where this is all going for you. You're getting glimpses into the future this year, and for a lot of you the future is now, right, as they always say. What I find really interesting is January is likely to give you a big push, and it's also likely to give you a powerful realization of, wow, you know what, if I do more of this, actually this is going to take me here, or you know what, there's an opportunity that's coming up that actually could take me further abroad. For January, a lot of you could be working on or with new technologies. This could also be where you are maybe connecting to different groups in the technological or IT world. Very, very possible. And also very exciting. Remember, the Star card is about trusting that the universe has a great plan for you. And this year it really does seem to, right? You're getting glimpses into the future. You just have to show up to claim them. And you've got this with the Four of Wands. So that's beautiful. If you have been hoping for some kind of advancement, some kind of movement, some kind of change when it comes to the career, when it comes to how you present to the world, for those of you, I mean, it looks like some of you are working on a website. Maybe you're working on a platform of some kind that you're, wanting to do something more with. For those of you that are thinking about brushing up your tech or IT skills in terms of your work or your job, January, straight out of the gate. Start now, right? Don't wait until it gets stale. Like, this is the time to lean in. It also suggests as well, as you start the year, as you come into January, you're going to have some news that it kind of fires you up for your future. It's like someone, maybe your boss comes to you and says, oh, by the way, we're putting you in for a management program, or you know what, we're starting a new team and we want you to head that division. There's something here where you're getting good news, but it's like it goes way beyond just January. It's like this is the start of something big, something fresh, but something that really opens up the rest of your future in a really, really big way. And that's really exciting. For February, you have the Fool card, new things, new places, new people. Don't be surprised. So if you live outside of the States, don't be surprised if you have connections or collaborations with people that are in the US. I wouldn't be surprised if you're meeting new people in February. Remember the Fool card, new things, new places, new people, new energies, new opportunities and avenues are waking up and opening up for you, providing you're willing to jump in with both feet. And I gotta be honest, Life Path 8 tends to be a bit more cautious. They tend to be a bit more pragmatic. That approach is not going to cut it for you this year. If you try to move forward at these sort of slow incremental steps, you need to think big, you need to think broad, you need to think global, all right? On top of that, you've got the Seven of Pentacles. So there's a new investment that you're making in February. It could be a financial investment for some of you. For a lot of you, I feel like this is you investing in a website, investing in a platform, investing in your own training in some way. What also comes up here though, and it could be your resources, there's a change in where you're putting your money, right? So maybe this is you looking at your pension pot and saying, I'd like to move this to here, or, you know, I'd like to add to it. Or maybe you're starting a pension pot. For a lot of you, this could be like, maybe you're starting some new way of earning, making, or preserving money in February that you haven't done before. All right. So this could be really nice. It could be really nice. It just, to me, it feels like you're dedicating more time to something that's going to bring you long money rather than big money now. So as we come into March, May and October, these are packed astrological months. Are a big deal. Pluto will be moving out of the sign of Capricorn and into the sign of Aquarius. Saturn, Sky Papa, is going to be drunk. He's going to be moving out of the sign of Aquarius and into the sign of Pisces. As if that wasn't enough, Mars has been in Gemini for the longest time. Mars has been in Gemini and it's been kind of frustrated. Mars in Gemini doesn't do well because Gemini is about going in different directions quickly. Mars likes to go quick, but it likes to go in one direction. On top of that, it's gone retrograde in the sign of Gemini where it's not really at its best. And so when it moves into Cancer this year, I really feel like it's going to give us that oomph. Okay, Mars will be in its full because it's not in, like, Mars is the worst sign that Mars can be in is in Cancer. But because it's been in such a heavy, frustrated sort of space for the last 7-8 months, let's say, at this point, Mars is going to say, right, I've got one direction to go in: care, defense, protection, family, home, women, right? Whatever it might be, it's got a clear focus. And so for that reason, this Mars transit in Cancer, I actually think will be a welcome break for all of us. That being said, if you haven't got your year ahead for your sun, moon, or ascendant, they are out there for your purchasing pleasure. You can get those on the link in the description box below, or that little floaty thing above my head. This year they are still $4.99 a piece, so you can get $4.99 for one, 3 for $14.97, or the bundle for $24.99. This year you're getting the 90-minute video, including a breakdown like this specifically for your sign, the eclipse overview video, which I'm not putting on any of my other platforms at all, so you won't catch that information except in there. On top of that, you're getting a 19+ page document for each one of the signs about the biggest transits and how they are affecting specifically your sign. So with that, you know, if you want to get those, you can get that on the link in the description. For March, you have the Temperance card, right? So this is great. I actually kind of get the feeling that whatever moves you're making, whatever move is happening for you in January, it kind of gives you license to make a different financial decision in February. And then as you come into March, it's like, right, okay, now I'm going to start to align what I'm doing with the biggest part of what I want from my future. There's a huge moment here where you are starting to really align your life and your path with what it is that you genuinely want for yourself. So I love this. I actually think it's brilliant. On top of that, you've got the Father, or the King of Cups. This is a counselor, literally. So the water signs cards, Queen and King, tend to show up as counselors, therapists, healers of some sort. You've got this here with the Temperance card, which means you are seeing a counselor, a therapist, a healer of some kind. Maybe for some of you, you're becoming one of those things, or certainly starting to study those things. It does suggest that you're putting a lot more time, effort, and emphasis on really starting to dig into not only who you are, but like more of what you genuinely, feel like expressing about yourself. There's something here where it's like you're delving into the depths of who you are, but you're not doing it on your own. This is a great month for counseling, for therapy, for healing, for anything like that. The other thing as well, this could also be a time where you're aligning yourself and your emotional self with the goals that you actually have, right? And at this point, I feel like you could be more supported than ever before. One way that this could show up, let's say on the more challenging side of things, it could literally be that a father figure, or some important male figure in your life maybe spends a stint in hospital, or with a healer. Possible, not probable, but just possible. So April, we have a new moon solar eclipse. This is a big deal because it's the first one in Aries. This is the first one that is going to kick off that whole sort of axis between Aries and Libra between April of 2023 and 2024. So pay attention to that eclipse, because it's going to give you an idea of what's coming up. If you want to know how it's affecting your sign, you know what to do. All right, for your April. You've got the Hanged Man, all right? So no fast movement here. There is potentially a very spiritual experience. I mean, March and April actually could be very spiritual times for you. These might be times where you're really dedicating something to a spiritual path or faith. They could also, April in particular though, could be a time where you're really starting to understand how your own intuition speaks to you. And it could also be a time of delays. You've got this with the Sun card. Wow, that is a big spiritual download. This is a big, or a powerful, deep spiritual realization that comes to fruition. Something that's been on hold or has been delayed for you here in April. It's like the door bursts wide open and it just starts to happen. You're gonna feel this instant kind of strength and power. As we come into April, I think this is probably gonna be a month where you're feeling not only more like yourself than ever before, but it's also a time where you can see things are really starting to pick up. It's almost like the glimpse into the future and the wonderful things that are showing up, they really start to give you like, you know what, now I believe it. It's like, yes, I've seen it and things are happening, but now I really believe that it can be bigger than this. Remember the Sun card, ultimate light, heat, blessings, joy, and abundance, coupled with a very spiritual card, which can sometimes represent self-sacrifice or martyrdom. It's almost like something that you have denied yourself previously, something that was delayed or was held up, it now really has the chance to fully express for you. And that, I think, is wonderful. As we come into May, the second astrologically packed month of the year, you've got Jupiter moving out of the sign of Aries and into Taurus. It will be in Taurus now until it moves out of Taurus and into the sign of Gemini. So this is a big deal. And the reason this is a big deal is because for the last few years, Jupiter has been retrograding out of one sign and back into the sign prior. Not doing it. This next 12 months, it's Jupiter in Taurus all the way, baby. So it is just, it's expanding that area of your chart. If you want to find out what it is, you know what to do. On top of that, we've got a Mercury retrograde in the sign of Taurus. And on top of that, we've got a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio. So this is a packed month and it's a big deal. That Scorpio eclipse as well, by the way, is going to be a point where we're closing out the Scorpio aspect of the Taurus-Scorpio eclipse axis. You've got the High Priestess, hidden things revealed. So whatever was going on for you around that new moon solar eclipse in 2022, in October of 2022, this will be where that comes to fruition, where whatever it was that was hidden or whatever it was that you didn't see will now be revealed to you. All right. This is coupled with the Two of Cups. So for some of you, it does look like there is a secret love, interest, or relationship taking place. So the Two of Cups is a card of relationships, partnerships, intimate connections. You've got this with the High Priestess, which is hidden things revealed. So for some of you, this might be where you literally say, I've been dating this person for the last however long, and now we're ready to share that with the world. We're making it official. I'm changing my Facebook status. I am, posting the first wee selfie, all the rest of that kind of stuff. This is where you're potentially presenting a partnership or a relationship to the world. It can be a working relationship, etc., but I kind of feel like it'll be more personal. If you're already in a long-term commitment and everybody knows that you're together, this might be something about the relationship that you guys are either choosing to hide, or because it's a full moon lunar eclipse month as well, this is something about the relationship that you are sharing with the world. Maybe you decide, you know what, we're opening up our marriage, or, not for everybody, obviously. There's a million ways this could show up, but you kind of get the point. This is also a very empathic month. The Two of Swords with the High Priestess is a very psychic energy. The Two of Cups with the High Priestess is a very empathic energy. So you are going to be very sensitive in May. Your empathic energies and abilities are going to be very high. Be aware that that is the case. So as we come into June, you've got the Hierophant card. So this, my money is on a lot of you getting married around this time. There's either a surprise, engagement. There's a surprise relationship. We've been together 10 years, but, it is what it is. And all of a sudden they propose. It's just really interesting to me, and I'm intrigued to see how it will go from here. With this, you've got the Five of Pentacles. This is the second time this signature has come up with different cards, different decks. And it's come up for 3 points of this year. So I am predicting that a financial institution, a large one, is going to fall. Whether this is a bank or a chain of banks, whether it's a building society, whether it is there's some big financial institution that is going under in 2023. I'm not sure who it is, but it could be a big corporate structure as well, which is possible because they hold significant resources, a lot of them. I wouldn't be surprised if they're bought out by somebody else and then rebranded and renamed in line with the 7 energies. But yeah, June is not a month for big financial commitments. It's not a month to make risky financial moves. It is, however, a really good time for you to part ways with a large institution. So for some of you, this might be a month where you leave the day job in favor of your own thing, which is very possible. I'm intrigued. For July, you have the Lovers card. Love, relationships and partnerships, but also choices, right? Big decisions. It's interesting to me because you've got the double 5 here. So 5 energy, then the Lovers card, which is the number 6. So there's like an advancement here. June and July are going to be very fast months. All right, keep that as a consideration. You've got this with the Empress. That's love. That's real love. That's like when you're besotted and you just want to spend all your time with this person and you feel like, and you just want to hug on them and kiss them or bite them in my case. It's not what you think, by the way. I have that thing, you know, they say like cute aggression, where you love something or someone so much that you just have to bite them a little bit. I don't know why I'm sharing this, but whatever. It goes with the territory. If you're a life path 8 and you want to date Rafi, okay, God, shut up, man. With that said, July could also be a time where you are choosing where to live with your significant other. So if you're in a relationship that you've been in for a while and you live in separate places, this could be you starting to look at where are we going to be. If you already live together, this could be you and your partner starting to decide, okay, we're ready to move. We need a bigger home because we want to start a family. We need a different place because I want to start working from home. Whatever it is, like the change that's happening, you're making the decisions around your environment at this time. As you come into August, you have the Death card. So endings, completions, culminations. So May through August is going to be the challenging time for the whole world, right? This is where it's going to be quite intense for a lot of people. August, endings, completions, culminations, and this comes up with the Strength card, right? So one way that this might show up, and it is very possible, because it looks like some of you are going to be making really good progress with your health next year. August, it's like you down tools. It's like you stop going running, you stop doing the healthy eating. It's like you just kind of let all of your good habits go. Another way that this could show up is it's almost like you decide not to go down a certain path because it feels like more, you know, well, it's going to be more hassle, or it's going to be... that's the feeling that I get from it. It's not a death. This is not a death, but it's like the death of your motivation. It's like you, and I don't know why, right? Everything up until this point looks like it's been going really well. But here in August, it's like flatline. It's like you're just like, no, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to, you know what I mean? It's like the energy is just gone, which is so weird to me. Like, so weird. All right, for September, you've got the Mercury retrograde in the sign of Virgo. And for this, you have the Tower card. Okay, so September is a month that whatever's going on in August, you know, it is potentially one way that you could see that as well, because the Strength represents the heart. This could be something or someone that you love is maybe leaving or going away. This could be maybe something is closed down. And it's something that you loved or were really attached to, and all of a sudden it's like your energy just dips. And then in September there's like a big shake-up or a big realization, and you've got this with the Six of Cups. For those of you that have children, I'm really sorry to say this, they are safe. It's not that anything's happening to them, but for those of you that have children, they are going to come and tell you something that potentially really off-puts you. Maybe a child comes to you and comes out, I'm gay, I'm bi, I'm a lesbian, I'm whatever. It could be that they come to you and say, you know what, I know we planned for me to go to university, but I don't want to do that anymore. It's like something that they tell you is really shocking to you. And it might be, because you know, like with parents, I think a lot of parents are very intuitive when it comes to their kids, but I think a lot of parents really aren't. And that's fine. You know, some people are parental and maternal or paternal, and others just really aren't. And there's no right or wrong way to be, right? Apart from obviously looking after them and keeping them safe, for crying out loud. But, you know, it kind of feels like you're almost questioning, like, oh, you know, I should have known this, I should have seen it. And it's like, should you? You know, everybody is their own being, even if they are your child, right? And at the end of the day, if they want to keep something from you, they absolutely will. Gosh, I can't even... I'm going to tell you a story about young Raph climbing out of the back window. This is in the days where we didn't have double glazing for a long time. And so our windows were quite easy to get out of. And one night, this was, I think I was about 14 or 15, I climbed out of the back window in the front room and disappeared. And then I got a phone call from my best friend saying, your mum has just called our house, screaming down the phone that, you know, where's he gone? I'm not even going to get into the specifics or the details of that, but I told you I was a little bit of a tearaway. Now, so this is what I say, like, if they want to hide something from you, they will. The reason I say this is because the Six of Cups is very much a card about children. It's also a card of memories and the past, and so this could also be some memory comes to the surface, maybe the one that you've buried. It's really weird and if that is the case, you'll know that this is coming, because in August it's like everything's going great, and then all of a sudden, vroom, like your energy just drops and you're like, I don't really understand why. And then maybe a memory or some piece of information from your past, or possibly even from your own childhood, comes up. And at this point you're like, oh my gosh, I now need to process this. October is another packed month. We've got 2 eclipses in that month. All right, so the last eclipse in Taurus, that's going to completely close out that entire cycle. The first eclipse in the sign of Libra, and obviously then that would be the Aries and the Libra eclipse kicked off officially, and then we will be in that zone where those parts of our lives and our charts are shifting. For October, you've got the Judgment card, big change. Big changes are taking place here, rewriting your life, rewriting the structures in your life. You've got this here right next to the Six of Cups and right next to the Tower card. That means that whatever's happening in September, whatever this big realization or information share is, it's going to be something that completely reorganizes or reshuffles your life in some way. And it is from your deep past. Because yes, the Judgment card represents change for the future, but it can also represent a blast from the past. And with a card like the Six of Cups, that's your deep past. It's your childhood, your teenage years, all of that kind of area. November. You have the yes, you have the Emperor for November, but to clarify, on October you've got the Wheel of Fortune. So it is a great change that's taking place, and there is a big restructuring or reshuffling of your life. For some of you, I wouldn't be surprised, and I know a lot of you are going to be like, what the hell? I wouldn't be surprised if maybe you're forced to adopt. When I say forced, not like you haven't got a choice, but you know, I touch wood, I hope I'm wrong. Maybe somebody passes away, maybe somebody gets poorly, maybe this is what the death is, and it's like you're then, bam, you've got a child, and you're like, okay, right? And this is the thing, like, I have siblings. And yes, I love my nieces and nephews, but if something happened to any of them and they were like, you have to look after your niece or your nephew for the rest of your life, that would be a big upheaval. It's not awful to, like, obviously it's awful if I've lost a sibling, but do you know what I mean? It's like, that's a huge change that you're suddenly not ready for. So yeah, that's one way this could show out. You've got the Judgment card with the Wheel of Fortune. That is fortune beginning to change or starting to ease up. So whatever's happening in August and September, it resolves relatively quickly, unless obviously it is what I've mentioned. But that was just to give you an idea of how that might play out. The other thing with the Wheel of Fortune is this can be a travel card. And you've got this with the Judgment card. That could be a long distance or an abroad move that you don't see coming. You've got the Emperor with the Hierophant card. That is marriage, partnership, relationship. That is the forging of a connection with a significant other. But it is also a big tie or an important tie to a big institution in some regard. So that's really, really interesting to me. That is a legal house. That is a lawyer's firm. It is a hospital, it is a university, the big places, you know, the big gates that we go through in our lives. November will be a big initiation of some sort. For December, you've got the Justice card, and this is where you sign in the documents or the paperwork. Whatever documents, paperwork or commitment you're making of a contractual nature in December, it's got something to do with whatever's happening in August and September. I'm really, really intrigued. And then look, you've got the Judgment card, which means whatever this contract is that you're signing in December, it's going to be around or a part of your life for at least the next 20 plus years. This is a big deal. I'm kind of a little bit like shooketh at the moment, because I'm like, okay, whew. All right, so for your key to the year, let's see, ooh, okay, which is a jumping card. You've got the gate 35 and experience. Why is that interesting? You're a life path 8, 3 and 5. This key to the year basically says this year is going to be full of new experiences. It's going to be a year that is filled with new things and places and people that can really excite and make your life genuinely wonderful. It also suggests to me, and the thing that I like about this card, the instruction with it is this: don't take somebody else's word for it. See it for yourself, right? So as an example, you say, yeah, I'm really excited. I'm going to Bali. And someone says, oh yeah, well, my friend went there and, they didn't have a good time. They got mugged. It wasn't very nice. They didn't like it. I don't think you should go. Not going to cut it. You have to have the experience yourself, the direct experience. And this year, that needs to be your mantra. It's all just experience, whatever it is. All right. Now, your challenge months. June could be a challenge month. August and September, obviously. I'm probably going to say that October and November could also be challenge months, because you're dealing with things that you're not used to. This November and December could also be that you're signing a mortgage agreement for a house. That's possible as well. Your power months: January, beautiful; February, lovely; March actually has the potential to be really nice; April, lovely. I really like May, I have to say. July is gorgeous. And I actually am here for October as well, believe it or not. Even though it's a challenge month, it's also going to be a month of blessings, I think. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic 2023. I know it looks like a roller coaster ride. You're going to have to let me know in the comments. And I love reading you guys there and seeing you there and interacting with you there as well. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care of yourself. Have a great year, and I'll see you soon.